Do they have any barbers in Silver Spring?
Nah.
I didn't think so. Could be time, buddy.
Oh, Jesus.
Yeah. You just went from chief executive to, I don't know what.
Hey, man, it's all good. Because you know what?
Yeah.
FindTheBestCarPrice.com/insider. Link down below.
Yeah.
We are doing a fundraising effort. Okay, we are going to fundraise for a haircut for me. And if you go to FindTheBestCarPrice.com/insider, that'll get us one step closer to my necessary.
You might be able to afford a haircut after they will pay their invoice.
Fingers are crossed. But in all seriousness, they've got their car buyer's guide. Take a peek at that. We appreciate their continued support. Thank you, Jeff. Thank you, FindTheBestCarPrice.com.
Absolutely. Thank you, Jeff.
All right, Dad. So here's what we're talking about today. I wanted to, open the floor up to you and have you share your 2 cents, 4 cents, your sense. Don't give me that look.
Could be a lot.
Explain to us why you shouldn't go into the car business. And I bring this question up because as your son, I've entered into, I guess, the car business against all of your warnings. Like as a kid, and you can share this, you told me, don't go into the car business, don't go into the car business. And so here, let's do a video why you shouldn't go into the car business. We will have a separate video where we talk about the pros, the great things that came out of your time being in the car business and why you should consider it. But for today, why you shouldn't.
Well, one of the reasons I wanted to keep you out of the car business, and obviously I succeeded to a certain degree and failed in another way. But one of the reasons I wanted to keep you out of it is probably one of the most time-consuming businesses that you can be in, that you can actually work in. Most dealerships are open anywhere from 11 to 12, maybe some of them 13, 14 hours a day. When we were in Arizona, the dealerships were open from 8 in the morning till some were open till 9 at night. So that was a 13-hour day. And you used to always hear me say, hey, I'm only going to work a half a day today. That's because, well, there's 24 hours in a day, and I only had to work 12 of those 24, so it was a half a day. As a manager, as a salesperson, even though you might be scheduled for 6 or 8 or 10 hours, you end up spending the whole day there. Not necessarily because you want to, but because there's customer issues, or you have a customer that you had an appointment with that came in at noon, and even though you might be scheduled off at 4, at 5 o'clock he or she finally says, yes, I'll take the car. You were off an hour ago, but it's not like you can leave in the middle of a transaction. And then when they get done with finance, so maybe they're done at 7, and you were done at 4, and you say to yourself, well, there's no point in leaving now, might as well stay till 8 when we close. And that's a typical day in the car business. And the other reason, not just time-wise, is that, well, those people in the car business, such as myself, are not thought of very highly by the general public. You like to show the Gallup poll, the trustworthiness poll, and somehow, and I don't know how, car people manage to be at the bottom, below lawyers, below politicians, below everything. It's as if in people's minds we're subterranean. And you've heard me say this before. The difference between a car person and a politician is a car person is only going to try and blow smoke up your butt when you're in front of them, and a politician is going to blow smoke up your butt every time he or she opens their mouth. And so honestly, if you were to say to me, who's the least trustworthy, I would tell you it's a politician and not a car salesman. You know exactly what the car salesman's trying to do. The car salesman's trying to separate you from your money to make a sale. Yeah. And a politician is to try and separate you from the truth to pull something over your eyes.
Yeah.
that's a huge difference. That I'm not going to tell you that most car people are virtuous people, although I think most of them are. It's like everything else in life. A few bad apples makes it bad for everybody. But I know in my lifetime, I've come across very few virtuous politicians. They're never in it for us. They always seem to be in it for them. And a car salesman, I guess, is, hey, like I said, he's just trying to separate you from your money and make a car sale. And you know that the moment you say, hi, I'm here to maybe look at a car, and the salesman hears, hi, I need to go home in a car.
But okay, so regardless though, I mean, there is that perception piece. So that resonates, that makes sense.
Yeah, so, and you're not held in high esteem if you're a car salesman. It takes a lot of hours. Oftentimes, customers will want to come in on your day off, and you have to be there for them. So you don't always get the day off that you're supposed to have or the time off that you're supposed to have. As a parent, you saw, and as a child, you saw this. As your parent, I wasn't home for most of the important things that happen in a kid's life because I was too busy being involved with the car business. Unless Halloween fell on a Sunday, I never got to Halloween with my kids.
It's called trick or treat, Dad.
Well, it's that too, but the holiday is Halloween. It's not trick or treat, it's Halloween. But it always falls on the last day of the month, damn it, which is the busiest day of the month at an automobile dealership. Traditionally, where auto people won't take that day off, even if it is a day off. So you miss out on all the things that ultimately you realize are truly what's important in life. Now, that's not to say that there aren't other professions where, they're time sensitive and they require a lot of your time and your effort. But for the most part, a lot of car salespeople are not paid well. I mean, if you consider making $40,000 to $60,000 a year being paid well, then go into car sales. If you ever figured out what that works out to as an hourly basis, you might want to reconsider.
We have that guide that you wrote, Dad, that's back on the Your Auto Advocate website, and so check the link down below. But you wrote a whole guide about how compensation works in the dealership. It's I mean, sure, there's some all-stars that maybe they work, their work is their life, and then they're able to provide for their family that way, of course. But the reality is, for most people, it's a transient moment in time.
Yes, transient. Oh my God. We really should have insisted that you stay at Pitt. I can only imagine what your vocabulary would be like today had you actually completed your college education.
It would be extendable, extensious.
It would be extensive.
Ooh, that's what I was looking for.
Yes, and maybe expandable.
Ooh, whoa.
But I would caution anybody that thinks about doing this for a living. I'm not saying that if you're good with people that you can't make a nice living doing it. You can. Some people do. But if you want to be respected in your community, if you want to be thought of in nice terms, if you're single and you're dating somebody and you go to meet that person's parents and they say, what do you do for a living? And you go, well, I sell cars. Well, they're turning to their daughter or their son and they're going, you're not going out with that person, because you're just not thought of very highly. And so I would encourage people to find other ways to make a living. That's not to say that you can't make a nice living doing it, but it's not one that offers a lot of validation from the buying public for what you do. I think that was more than 2 cents, probably more than 4 cents, might have added up to 8 or 10 cents.
Yeah, no, but I appreciate you talking about it, Dad, because at the end of the day, a lot of people work in a dealership setting. Automotive makes up a huge percentage of gross domestic product, GDP, and so a lot of people touch it. And I distinctly remember growing up, and you tell me, don't go in the car business, because I always wanted to go in the car business because my dad was in the car business. And now what we're doing with Your Auto Advocate, yeah, it's partly in the car business, it's in the automotive space, but it's more for the car buyer, right? It's less about
Yes.
being in a physical dealership, because that's where things become seemingly incredibly demanding. And having grown up and you were in management positions within dealerships, yeah, you were never around because you were always working. And then when you were around, you were just trying to not think about work. And so, yeah, if you're contemplating going and working in a car dealership, just understand that. And again, there's some resources back on the website that you took the time to write up that help put that into perspective as well. But we'll do a follow-up episode. We'll talk about the good things, because it did bring a lot of good things to your life and my life.
There are good things about being in the car business if that's the career path you choose, and you realize that's what you were meant to do. Yes, there are good things, and we can discuss that at another time.
Exactly. But for today, Dad, I appreciate your time on this topic, and I look forward to your take on time when you get some new watches in the not-too-distant future.
I have 3 coming in, so I'm looking forward to sharing my take on time.
All right, Pops. I love you.
Thanks, Zach. I love you too. I'll talk to you later.